Good Sunday morning, everyone. It is Sunday prep day, and I am prepping again for the week. After being gone last weekend and not prepping, I'm really excited to get back on track this week. So I am hoping to get my entire prep done, breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks for my husband and I for the week. We do have company coming over today for a cookout, so I'm going to just wait and do the dinners last. That way, if I don't get to those, it's really not a big deal. But at least I'll have my breakfast, lunch, and snacks prepped for the week. So I'm going to go ahead and get those together. So if you're new to my channel, I hope that you'll consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure that you click the notification bell. That way you're notified anytime that I upload new content. And welcome, my name is Christy, and I am Planning Us Healthy. Okay guys, so on the menu this week, I am going to be doing a breakfast quiche. I'm going to just do a breakfast bake, and it's going to have sausage and bacon in it and eggs and cheese, and I'll do that for breakfast. And then to breakfast, I'll do my cereal. For lunches, I'm going to do a Spanish rice with chicken and sausage. Found a recipe for it. It's a crock pot recipe, but I'm just going to do mine in the wok on the stove. And what else for lunch? And then the other 2 days, I'm just going to do my turkey wraps, so I won't prep those. I'll wait until Thursday and Friday to do those. And then I'll throw my snacks together and see if I have time to throw my dinners together. I actually only have 3 dinners to prep this week because one of them, I have a freezer meal of the chicken taco chili in the freezer, so I'm just going to pull that out for one of the nights. And then Friday night we do fish fry, and I use frozen fish for that, so I won't be prepping. I may, depending on time, I may go ahead and prep the topping for it. And it's kind of like a cornflake topping, and at least weigh out the potatoes for that. So let's go get started. Okay everyone, so we're gonna get started. The first thing I'm going to do is my breakfast bake. I've actually not made this one before. I've done like crustless quiches and frittatas. But this one is just kind of a breakfast bake because I don't know that you'd really call it a quiche. I'm actually going to try and put some frozen potatoes, frozen hash browns in it, and hopefully it turns out all right. So the first thing I'm going to do is cook my bacon, and I'm going to go ahead and cook my bacon in the air fryer. I love cooking it that way. So I'm just going to spray the air fryer. And I am using the Appleton Farm center cut bacon that I get from Aldi, and I'm going to go ahead and use the whole package. So I'm just going to layer the bacon. I put a layer on the bottom, and then I just layer over the top, and they cook good that way. They don't come out flat, which I don't want them flat anyways because I'm going to be cutting them up. Okay, so I've got the bacon in there. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the air fryer. I cook it at 400 for, I don't even know, I think maybe 10 minutes. I like mine really crispy. After about 5 minutes, I open it and flip it all, and then usually it's about 5 more minutes. I don't really pay attention to the time because I just open it and see when it looks like it's done to me. So while the bacon is cooking, I am going to go ahead and put the rest of the eggs together. So I'm using 10 eggs. I'm going to use a half a cup of fat-free half and half. And I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. So now I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of frozen hash brown potatoes. And I'm going to add 6 slices of, this is the Never Any country style chicken breakfast sausage. This I get at Aldi's, and these are 1 point per length. So all I do is just cut them into little pieces. then we're just going to dump that into the mixture. Okay, and then I'm going to just add some salt and pepper to it. And I am going to add just a splash of nutmeg and a tiny bit of cayenne pepper. Okay, so the bacon is done. As you can see, I like it really crispy. Okay guys, so I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So my bacon is done, and I am just cutting it into small pieces. And then I'm gonna put it into the mix. And mix that up. You could put ham, you could put broccoli, you could put whatever you want in an egg bake. I actually make them different every time. So now I'm going to take a pie dish, and I'm going to spray it with olive oil spray. Make sure to get the sides real good. Since we're not using a crust, we definitely don't want the eggs sticking. And then we're just going to dump that right into the pie dish. And then we're going to top it with about a ½ cup of Velveeta shreds. I'm going to kind of try and stir it around so that's pretty even. And then we're going to bake it in the oven. I'm going to do it at 350. There's some recipes that say do it at 400, but I'm just going to do it at 350, and it's going to probably take between 45 minutes to an hour. I'll just keep checking on it. And so I will put it in the oven, and then I'll let you know how long it ends up being. Okay, so while the breakfast is in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping lunch. And just so you know, the breakfast is going to be 6 servings. I'm going to cut that pie into 6 pieces, and each piece is going to be 4 points. So that's not bad for a nice breakfast. So for the chicken, my lunch, I'm doing like a Spanish rice with chicken and sausage. I'm going to be using chicken sausage. I'm going to be using chicken, and it's going to have rice and vegetables in it. I haven't made this one either, so I'm kind of winging this one as also. So for my chicken, I have about 1 3/4 of a pound of chicken breast, and I've just cut it into small pieces. And now I'm just going to add some spices. So I've added pepper. I'm going to add some onion powder. I am going to add some garlic powder, some salt, paprika, and finally this chicken seasoning that I absolutely love. I picked it up at Dollar General store, and it is really good. We love it on chicken, pork chops, anything. So I'm going to put quite a bit of that in there. And then I'm just going to zip my bag up and just kind of stir it around so it's all covered. And in the meantime, I have my wok sprayed with olive oil spray, and I have that heating on the stove. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get this on the stove. So I'm just going to dump the chicken in there. Doesn't sound like I had my pan heating enough, but that's okay. And just mix that all around. And we're just going to let that cook for a little bit before we add the, next I'll go ahead and cut up the chicken sausage, and then we'll add that to it. The chicken sausage is already pre-cooked, so that's why I'm not adding that yet. So we'll get that going. Okay, so while the chicken is cooking, I actually started the rice. I am going to be making 3 cups of cooked rice. Basically, I am making, this lunch is going to be for 6 lunches, 3 for me, 3 for my husband. And I want to have just a half a cup prepared rice in each dish. So I'm doing 3 cups of cooked rice. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut up the chicken sausage. And if you remember with the breakfast, I used 6 links. So these have 7 links in each package. So I had 1 link left, and then I'm using the 7. So I'm going to use 8 links. I had it in the Weight Watchers app for 7 links, and then this lunch was going to be 4 Smart Points. So I just changed it to see what it would do if I added that last link, and it doesn't change the points. So I can use all 8, and it's still going to be 4 points. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these, not as small as what I use for the breakfast, but maybe like bite-sized pieces. I noticed my chicken wasn't quite bite-sized pieces, so I may go ahead and cut that a little more when it's done. And then I'm going to go ahead and add them with the chicken. Okay, I went ahead and put my chicken sausage in with the chicken, and I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. And in case anybody wondered, this is the rice that I use. I am not a lover of brown rice. I know it's healthier for you, but I just use the white rice. I have tried using brown, and I just don't like it. And my philosophy is that if this is going to be for the rest of my life, I need to eat things that I like. So I don't eat things that I don't like just because they're good for you. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut up my onion and pepper. And I'm going to be just throwing some frozen peas and frozen California medley into the wok rather than using fresh. I was going to do fresh carrots and everything, but I just decided that since I'm kind of in a hurry today, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. But I did want to add some onions and some peppers. And then once the chicken is done, basically I'm going to take that out of the pan and I'm going to cook up these vegetables. And then I'll mix them all together after. Okay guys, so I just checked on I was cutting up all my vegetables, and then I checked on my quiche, bake, whatever you want to call it. And it is really browning a lot on top. So as you can see, it's kind of a little bit more brown than I would like. I cut into it and the inside is still a little bit juicy. So I'm going to just go ahead and cover it with aluminum foil. I've had it in there right now for about 40 minutes. So I'm going to just go ahead and cover it with aluminum foil and cook it for maybe another 5 minutes. I just don't want that top cooking anymore. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get my vegetables cooking. Okay, so this is what the chicken and sausage looks like. So I've got my wok resprayed with olive oil spray, and I'm going to go ahead and add my onions and peppers. I'm going to let those cook just for a little bit before I add my frozen vegetables. And in the meantime, my rice is just sitting, so that will be done and ready when everything else is ready. Alright, so I've had our onions and peppers going. Now I'm going to go ahead and add, I just have a bag of California medley. I actually was going to use, I have broccoli stir fry that I picked up, and I was going to put that in there. And then I saw it had water chestnuts in there, and I think those are the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten. I know some people like water chestnuts, but oh, they're just horrible to me. So I'm going to just use one bag. I have 2 bags of that, and I was debating on whether to use 2 bags, but instead I decided to go ahead and put some peas in there too. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump in, I don't know, maybe about a cup and a half maybe. Whoop. All right, I'm just gonna let that cook up for a little bit. Okay, you guys, so I decided to go ahead and add that other bag of California medley. So this is just gonna make a whole bunch of vegetables. I figured I might as well just go ahead and cook it all. Okay, so while the vegetables are cooking for the lunches, I did pull the breakfast bake out of the oven, and it looks like it's done now. So I'm just letting it sit before I portion it out, and I'll show you what that looks like. So in the meantime, I'm getting my snacks together. So I went ahead off camera and weighed everything out. You guys have seen me do this every single week because you know I eat these every single week. These are basically Snack Factory pretzels with Laughing Cow cheese. It's actually the Aldi version of both of them, so it's not that brand. I do one serving, which is 28 grams of the pretzels and one wedge of cheese. Each one of these is 4 Smart Points, and I just basically go ahead and put them in the fridge. So that is the snacks there. We also have fat-free or sugar-free chocolate pudding that I'm going to be using. I'll get that out at the end and show you that. Obviously, you know what that is. And yogurt. We also sometimes have yogurt, so I do have that for the week. I also bought a huge watermelon at Aldi, and I went ahead and cut it all up the other night, yesterday, because I was really craving some watermelon. So that was my snack last night. So what I did, I'm going to be using this today for our cookout, but I went ahead and portioned some into our fruit bowls for the week. So I am going to do watermelon and blueberries, and then I'll do banana in my cereal Thursday and Friday. So that is it for my snacks. So now what I'm going to do is just finish putting my lunches together and getting those all portioned out. I'll show you that. And then it looks like I'm less than an hour in, so it looks like I'm going to have time to put my dinners together after all. I was worried that I wasn't going to have time for those. Okay guys, so this is what the breakfast casserole turned out like. Let me see if I can get it in the light here. Kind of dark over there. Let's see. So it wasn't too bad. The edges are a little bit, this one's not bad at all, but the other edges on the others are a little bit dark. You can see what it looks like. That's a pretty good piece for 4 points. I am impressed. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So, yeah, see there's, this one is, see what I mean? The edges is just a little bit brown. So, other than that, it turned out good. I'll definitely maybe cover it with aluminum foil next time for a little bit longer. So, let me go ahead and scoot back over here. So now I have my vegetables cooked, and I'm going to go ahead and add in my chicken. I didn't end up cutting it up. This is going to be a lot, y'all. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix this all together. And then the rice, I'm going to put that in the dish separate. That'll be kind of on the bottom, and this will lay over top of it. So I'm just going to mix that up, and then I'm going to be adding some soy sauce, and I'm just kind of splashing a little bit in there. And then we're just going to mix that all together. So that doesn't seem like it ended up being too much vegetables. These are going to be such huge portions, though. Oh my gosh. I'm going to probably have to dump this all in a bowl and weigh it so I know how much to put in each portion. This is going to be huge lunch. Okay, so let me get you back on the tripod. Okay guys, so I only have 2 glass dishes. I really need to buy some more of those. And my containers are 3 compartment containers, so I'm just going to kind of have to do the best I can with these. So I'm going to put about a half a cup of rice in each container. This weighs too much for me to weigh, so I'm just going to scoop out equal portions into each one. The good thing is that this is all mostly 0 points in here. So those are our lunches. As you can see, it's a really big portion, even in these containers. So that's going to be 4 points for each one. So I'm going to set those aside and let them cool, and then we're going to get started on our dinners. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and do the dinners. So if you're new to my channel, if you're not new to my channel, you're probably sick of hearing me say this. If you're new to my channel, for my dinners, I basically kind of prep my dinners like you would get from like Home Chef or Blue Apron or meal delivery places like that, where I just portion out just the portion we need for dinner, and I just put them in bags. I label my bags, I figure the points for them, put the points on the bag, and then I don't wash everything. I just put the vegetables and portion out everything and put it in a bag. So for my first dinner for Monday night, I'm going to do, usually when I make salmon on Monday nights, I have rice with it, but because we're having rice in our lunch bowls, I am just going to do 2 vegetables. So I'm going to make the salmon a little bit higher. So I'm going to do a honey garlic salmon, which is going to be 4 smart points. And then the broccoli and asparagus is 0. And then I'm going to use cheese on it for a point. So I'm not going to put the cheese in. I'll just do that night. So all I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and cut the asparagus ends off. And then I'll just put the asparagus in the bag. And then I cook it all the night. So I cook it fresh, but I just go ahead and portion everything out for the 2 of us. I'm actually making a little bit extra broccoli. My daughter is going to be here this week, so she loves broccoli, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit of extra broccoli. So I get fresh broccoli, and I just cut the ends off, and I put that right in the bag. And then tomorrow night, what I'll do when I get home, I'll just pull the bag out of the fridge. I'll wash all the vegetables and just cook it like it's fresh. But at least that way, the portions are already done. I don't even know if I'm going to get the salmon in this bag. So I'm going to use a bigger bag, actually, because I'm going to actually marinate the salmon. So I'm going to marinate it in the fridge in the sauce. And I'm going to just use a honey and soy sauce mix. So let me relabel this bag real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just dump this into this bag. And then I'm going to use this bag for the salmon marinade. All I'm going to do for this one is just a splash of soy sauce. And about 2 tablespoons of honey. Now I'm going to add just a bunch of garlic. Depending on how much you like garlic. Y'all know we love garlic. We'll just go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper. And a little bit of paprika. And then just kind of mix that up a little bit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut my fish in half. Once the salmon is cut, I'm just going to go ahead and add the pieces into the bag. Try and get as much air out of the bag as possible. And then just kind of get it all on the salmon. And put our bag in the other bag. I'm going to just try and even it out a little so that it's not so bulky in my fridge. Alright. And there is one of our dinners. Like I said, that's a lot of broccoli, but this will be for 3 of us. Okay guys, so the next one I am doing is our pork tenderloin with carrots and potatoes and gravy. So for this one, it's actually a garlic herb pork tenderloin. And so what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and put the vegetables in the bottom of the bag. So I have about 3/4 of a pound of potatoes. Not gonna be cutting it up. I'm gonna use about 10 ounces of carrots. Actually, let's use 12. So for the carrots, I'm just gonna cut the ends off and then I'm gonna wash them that night. All right, and then for the pork tenderloin, I actually have, this is a Smithfield pork tenderloin, and it is 18.4 ounces. For this recipe, I usually use 10 ounces of pork tenderloin. So our portions are gonna be a little bit less than half because I'm gonna freeze one of these. I basically just took the tenderloin, cut it in half. I'm gonna freeze one of them for a different night, and then we will split the other one. So I'm just gonna put it into a bag, and I'm all out of quart bag. Okay, so my phone ran out of memory, so I think I remember where I was. Okay, so I have the pork tenderloin, the vegetables in there, carrots and the potatoes. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I need some green onion. So I went ahead and cut up a little bit of green onion, and I'm just gonna kind of mince that up because I'm gonna go ahead and do the topping for the pork. And if you are not new to my channel, you can skip right through this part because you've probably seen me do this several times. Because we do have this one quite often. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And 1 tablespoon of ground stone Dijon mustard. After I get it all over myself. And then we're going to add some garlic. And then stir that up. And then that is done. So then the night that I'll go ahead and put my other onions in there. So the night that we make dinner, all I'm going to have to do is cut the carrots and potatoes and put them on a tray. And put the topping on the pork, put that on a tray, and then roast them. And I'm going to actually use pork gravy, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss that in. I won't be using the whole thing. I'll probably just use half of it. Sometimes I use the pork gravy, and sometimes I use like jarred turkey gravy, which actually I prefer, and I thought I had some left, but I didn't. I'm just going to use that. So there's that one. I'm going to clean up one more time and do one more dinner. Okay guys, so for this one, I am making buffalo turkey meatballs with ranch cauliflower. This recipe actually calls for blue cheese, and I don't have any blue cheese. So I'm going to stop at Publix on my way home from work tomorrow night and pick some of that up. So when I get home, I will just measure it out and throw it in the bag. So for this one, I'm going to take a head of cauliflower, I'm going to cut it up, put that in the bag, and then I will come back and show you the rest. Alright, so my cauliflower is in there. Next thing I'm going to put in there is 2 things of green onions. And then I'm going to put in, I have 1 ounce of Frank's Red Hot sauce. Throw that in there. This recipe does call for butter, but I won't put the butter in there until the night that I have it. The topping for the ranch cauliflower is actually 2 ounces of sour cream and 1 teaspoon of ranch dressing seasoning, the powder. So I'm going to go ahead and separate it for my husband and I so we each have our own. And then we'll put it on there that night. So I'm going to do half a teaspoon in each container. Zero it out, and then put 1 ounce of sour cream in each container. And I'm using light sour cream. I'm just going to take the end of the measuring spoon and just stir that up. And a lot of people ask me where I get these little containers. I actually have tried several of the home delivery services, so when I was trying them all, I just kept all the containers. So I really need to try and find some of them because I really need some more. So then I'm just going to go ahead and put those in the bag. And then, like I said, the blue cheese, I'm going to need 1 ounce of blue cheese. So after I buy that tomorrow night, I'll just put that, throw that in a bag and put that in there. And finally, I need 12 ounces of ground turkey. You can also use ground beef if you prefer, if you don't like the ground turkey. So I bought a 36-ounce package of ground turkey, and I'm going to go ahead and just use one. So I went ahead and portioned the rest into individual bags, and I'll put those in the freezer. So here, as you can see, with the ground turkey and the pork tenderloin, I have now 3 dinners in my freezer that I already have portioned out, labeled, and I can just pull those out when I make them next time. So that is that one. And let me go ahead and get everything out and show you what we ended up with. All right, guys, so here is everything for the week. We have our snacks. We have our 0-point fruit bowls, our 3-point yogurts, our 2-point pudding snack packs, my 4-point pretzels and Laughing Cow cheese, my Fiber One cereal, my half-cup vanilla unsweetened almond milk, and our breakfast bakes, 6 of those, 6 of our lunches, which is basically just chicken, rice, and vegetables. And then our dinners, I went ahead and did put together the air fryer fish and fries just for visual. Basically, it's just potato, and I use frozen flounder, so I'm going to put this flounder back in the freezer after I do this video. And then my topping, I actually will use an egg too and dip it in an egg, and my topping is cornflake crumbs, cayenne pepper, and Parmesan cheese. And then we have our honey garlic salmon with broccoli and asparagus, our buffalo turkey meatballs with ranch cauliflower, and our garlic herb pork tenderloins with roasted potatoes, carrots, and gravy. Alright guys, so I ended up getting it all done before our company came. I did pretty good. This one didn't take me long at all. So if you're new to my channel, this is how I prep. And I get it done, out of the way. It seems like a lot of time. A lot of people say, well, that's, 2 hours, sometimes 3 with cleanup. I don't have time for that, but I'm basically just saving the time from during the week. This is time that would be spent during the week. Honestly, breakfast would probably be, I don't even know what it would be because I would not have time to do the breakfast. Lunches would not be so good. I'm looking forward to lunches this week. Super excited about that. So the only thing that I didn't prep is my turkey Laughing Cow turkey wrap. It's basically turkey meat with Laughing Cow cheese on a 1-point Olay Wellness Extreme wrap, and I won't have those till Thursday and Friday, so I'll wait until then to do those. So I hope everybody has an amazing week. Thank you so much for watching, and please, if you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share. That really helps me on YouTube. I really appreciate it. So I will talk to everybody in my next video. I'm Christy, and I am planning us healthy.